This is my $20 Ricoh KR30-SP Program. When I picked this thing up, the mirror had sagged so far down that the shutter wouldn't even work, and the light seals on it were completely trashed. Fortunately, I did fix the mirror with a hairdryer and a pick, and I just slowly moved it down as I heated it up, and then I super glued it back into place. But that still leaves the issue of the light seals being absolutely trashed. We're going to be taking care of these light seals with $2.68 from Hobby Lobby. All we're going to need is a couple of sheets of this soft peel and stick felt and some of the cheapest black yarn you can find. You're also going to need some common house tools like some scissors, Q-tips, rubbing alcohol, and my personal favorite, these gum teeth scraper things. You can find these at Walmart in the tooth care section, and they're great because they're rubber and they're not going to leave anything behind. And the other side is plastic and won't scratch the camera, so you can go ahead and scrape for days. We'll also be using that scraper to insert the yarn into the light seal areas. If you have one, it's optional. I like to use one of these small vacuums to vacuum out the channels in the camera and vacuum as I go, just to try to leave less of a mess to get contaminants on the shutter. This process really isn't inherently difficult, it's just time consuming. But I feel like on YouTube there's plenty of tutorials on how to do this, but none of them use these gum toothpick things like I do. This just makes it so much easier to get into the grooves, get a little rubbing alcohol on them, and the stuff just comes right off. On the KR30SP, there really is only a few light seals that we really need to take care of anyway. The one on the door for me is in really good condition, so we're just going to do the one on the right side of the door, the two small ones above the door and below the door, and these tracks. Like I had stated before, it's really cool to get aggressive with these picks because they're rubber and they're not going to scratch this stuff, so you need to just really get in here, get aggressive, and get that thing clean. I'm pretty happy where I'm at on that right now, so I'm just going to get this little vacuum out, clean up my mess, clean out the track, and go on to the next one. It is worth pointing out that if you're going to get aggressive with this, try not to get aggressive around the left corner of how I have the camera held in this shot. The film counter is over there and there's a little tab. It's pretty unmissable if you're cleaning this up close. It's what counts how many film shots you've taken, and you just want to be gentle around it. I just kind of went over it, and the little rubber thing really just kind of glazed right over it. It didn't really harm it at all. In this shot here, I'm kind of walking around it. You can kind of see the outline of it in the light here. You just want to kind of go around it, try to get anything under it because it is a mechanism with a clutch and you don't really want to get material in there. I kind of just try to avoid it, and then I'm going to hit the vacuum, clean up our dirt, and try and clean that out as well. I was also pretty fortunate in cleaning off the other light seals on the door. They just came right off by finger. I didn't even need to scrape or clean, so I don't have any footage of that because I wasn't expecting it to come right off. I really did struggle with trying to capture the moment, per se. I really struggled to get in a comfortable position to record this and do it at the same time. But I ended up cutting a piece of yarn roughly about the size of the light seal, maybe about an inch longer than needed. And by doing that, I'm just going to lightly tap this in with the plastic piece of our rubber pick. And near the end, I'm going to cut the remainder of it off. This really was an impromptu recording of a video. I thought it was kind of interesting what I was doing, so I just wanted to capture it because this is my third time doing this, and I think I've gotten better at it, and I just kind of wanted to document it. We could definitely use some of this time, though, to talk about the Ricoh, and for an all-plastic bodied camera, the build quality on this is super solid. Like, I say plastic, but it doesn't even really feel like plastic. It's pretty heavy duty, and mine looks like it's been dropped or something has even hit the area where a flash would be, and it still works perfectly fine. For the bottom seal, I'm pretty much going to follow the exact same steps I used for the top one. Pretty much just cut a piece of yarn roughly the size of the seal, use a pick, credit card, whatever you got that's flat, get that in there. Whatever excess you have at the end, take it, get a little snip of it, and jam that in. It's really, really simple stuff. For the 3 small seals on the folding door, I pretty much just eyeballed it and cut a piece of felt. And then from there, I pretty much lined it up with the camera, cut off the excess, and just stuck it on. This doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be good enough to not let any leaks in. For the 2 around the door, I did need to get a little more intricate and use my pick to kind of lay it down flat to make sure it goes in the right area. But it's really, really simple, you guys. This is not Einstein's work. Again, we're not looking for complete perfection. We're just looking to make a seal. If you're doing this on your own, it'll probably be easier for you to do this top one, but I wanted to cut this one a little longer so I could try to get it on film as I'm shooting this. I basically just kind of laid it out, and I did make these a tad bit longer than there were originally. It's not going to harm anything, them being a little longer. If anything, it might help. So I just figured I would make this one a little longer as long as the one on the side. So here's my finished 15-minute light seal product. And does it look perfect? No. Is it going to prevent light leaks from happening? Absolutely. That's what we're looking for. And the first couple door shuts are going to be pretty tight. So you just want to do this maybe 2, 3, 4 times. Leave it overnight after you shut it the 4th time. And this will be baked in perfect, and you'll have no issues with this coming apart or coming out, I promise. But yeah, that's pretty much gonna do it. I'm pretty satisfied with these results, and you can let me know if you did the same thing. There isn't really a lot of videos on this camera out there, so I thought it'd be interesting. I'm really into 35mm right now, so you probably will see some more of this on the channel. I'm probably going to make a dedicated video just on this camera alone, especially since it was so abused and I put all this work into it, and now it's time to shine. I also ordered a little 28mm prime macro to put on this bad boy, so that combined with this pretty much new Ricoh, we should get some banger images. So I'll keep you guys updated. If you enjoyed this, leave a like. If not, hit the dislike button. If you have any comments, you have this camera, let me know what you think about it. And I will see you guys in the next one.